Alright YouTube, so in this episode we'll be working on the beamer for once. I want to do a few sort of alignment alterations, mainly the rear camber in preparation for my track day in August. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Right, so I bought Amazon's finest, basically a digital spirit level I guess you call it that. Well, I suppose, what do they call it? Digital inclinometer. So yeah, basically I'm going to use this to measure my camber. So it tells you what degrees slope you've got. It says it's accurate to 0.1 degrees. So I mean, it's not going to be perfect, but for like 18 quid or 17 quid, whatever it is, it's going to be a damn sight better than nothing. So I've got a feeling the rear camber is just far too much. Probably be alright for if I had a limited slip diff, because I've got an open diff. What I'll try and do is I'll try and add in some kind of drawing or something just to demonstrate what I mean by having too much rear camber, in my opinion, is a problem with an open diff. So that was my main issue at the last track day, coming out of like the chicanes at sort of 50-60 miles an hour and just trying to fight the wheel spin. So I think that's because I've got too much rear camber. So say for example you're turning left hard and trying to get the power down, all the weight's going to go to the right hand side of the car. The way the camber's set up, the left is going to have even less contact with the road. And with an open diff, that's the one that's going to spin. So I think that's right. We shall find out. So I want to adjust the rear camber. And what I might do is set the dampers up, and then maybe if I can remember each session then at the track I might change the damping settings a bit, see if it makes any difference to my lap times. So let's get out and see what camber we're set on already, and we'll take it from there. Right, I should be using this state-of-the-art device, which is actually the back of, I don't know whether some of you hardcore viewers will recognise this. This is what I was using before to measure camber with a freaking laser beam, self-leveling laser beam. I put that against the wheel, but you know, the laser beam was like 1 degree thick, so it wasn't a very accurate method of measuring the camber, but it was better than nothing. But yeah, we're gonna, at least I've got a piece of wood that's the right size to go between either rim, either side of the rim, and hopefully we'll better see what camber we're on to start with. But to me, the rear definitely looks like more camber than the front. So let's find out what it's actually set to. It's not actually 87.4, it's 90 minus that, so 2.6. Right, it's going to be interesting to see whether the camber angles change once the car is in the air. Probably not. I'm probably not that interesting, but we'll have a look anyway. Right, so strangely enough, the rear left, once in the air, didn't really change the camber. So the rear right has gone up, or down I suppose. It was reading about 1 degree higher. So why putting it in the air affects the rear right camber but not the rear left? That's anyone's guess, because I haven't got a clue. So oh well, I'll adjust them, put them back down again, and I'll just keep measuring them when they're on the floor. I think it's really odd. Right, so I've had to drop the exhaust from the rear hangers so I can access the nut on that end of the camber, the lower control arm. So hopefully I'll be able to turn it now and dial in the camber. So I have to wind the bottom of the wheel inwards. This is rusted solid, what a surprise. So it seems to be 1/6 of a turn, or 2/6 of a turn is 0.1 degrees. I don't know whether you can see, but the right hand side's a lot easier because you can get to the nut over there, whereas I think you probably saw me struggling on the left hand side, so I had to drop the exhaust a bit to better get to up there. So yeah, not too bad. I just dropped the 2 rubber hangers on the back box. So yeah, let's wind them out a little bit more, drop it down, take another measurement, and that'll be me for camber. Yeah, you can see that's significantly less camber. God, getting a bit warm out there. So I've done the camber on the rear. I've set them so they've got 1 degrees of negative camber both sides. And I started doing the trailing arm poly bush, which as I started doing I thought I should have done this first before setting the camber, because you can obviously, well not obviously, but when you undo the trailing arm where the bush is, you can, there's like slotted holes so you can add a bit of toe in and toe out, etc. So probably should have done that first and then set the camber, but I can set the camber again if I need to. So I kind of ran out of time, so I didn't actually get time to put the poly bush in. I just undid it sort of and then put it back together again. So yeah, next time I'll get those poly bushes in, and then probably have to at least read the rear camber, see if that's affected it at all. I did notice that the right seems to have a little less toe in, but that'll be why then. As for the front, I'm a bit surprised because on the top of the strut tower, I've got the bolt, because you've got slotted holes, I've got it as far in towards the engine as possible to give maximum camber, and I've set the coilovers to maximum camber, but it was only showing as 2.5 on the left and 1.3 on the right, which is a bit weird. So I may have to just take it for professional setup at some point, get sort of track set up, and at least try and sort the rear out ready for the track day anyway, because that's the end that seems to be giving me a bit of jip on the track. Okay, so it's not like me to give up on stuff, but those trailing arm bushes, so the metal on the original bushes seems to have just fused to the trailing arm, and it's just not budging at all. I could probably press the rubber bit out the middle and then attack the metal afterwards, but I've only got a few weeks till track day and I don't want to bugger the car up, so I'll have to stick with these. I just think they're completely fused together. That's a right pain in the ass. So what I did to get access to them was undo, so that's the carrier for it, see there's 3 bolts for that, so I just put a trolley jack under the hub to take the weight. Undid those 3. I undid the shock absorber bolt and also the bolt for the lower control arm, and then I was able to pull this down low enough to get my bush press tool on it. Tried it and it just will not budge. It's going to break the tool before that comes out. So that's the way I did it. Not sure whether does it put too much stress on the drive shaft. Didn't feel like it. Oh, I had to I unclipped the braided line down here as well, so there was no pressure in that. But yeah, I've actually given up on this. It's just not happening. I think I'd have to get a whole new trailing arm, or actually take it off to attack this, but I just don't have the time to do it now. I can't be doing with breaking my car, so yeah, I'll have to quit and reassemble. At least I've managed to do the rear camber, so you can also see how you set the rear toe. So you've got slotted holes there, so you can move this in and out to do the toe on the back. So I noticed my rear right wasn't toeing in as much as the rear left, so I'll adjust that a little bit just by eye, but obviously I'll have to take it somewhere to get an alignment sometime, or try and create my own rig for doing alignment. So yeah, ModFix is quitting this one. Not worth the hassle. So I was a bit disappointing really. Those trailing arm bushes, I think must be they must be metal bits around the old rubber ones, and they're just like I said, they'd fused to the trailing arm. So I think I'll probably have to just give up on them, and I can't be doing with taking those trailing arms off. Everything looks seized. The right hand one, which I was playing around with, at least the rubber still felt really firm, and it didn't feel like there was any give in it at all. So it's one plus, I guess. I suppose on the positive, I managed to adjust the camber. So according to my little electronic device, I've got 1 degree camber. I managed to add a bit more toe in to that rear right one, which was looking a lot less than the left one. So it was all done by eye, so it's probably not that brilliant, but I probably might try and make a sort of alignment kit that you can buy, rather than paying 200 quid to take it somewhere to be set up. Although it would be nice to have it properly balanced, but I don't know, it's a budget track car, so you're just not too keen to spend loads of money on it. So I'll have a little think about that. An episode of ups and downs. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, comment below, hit the notifications bell, and stay tuned for a track day in the Beamer pretty soon. So yeah, thanks for watching. Cheers guys.